Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Nico here, and this is episode 10 of Road to Masters. We had some progress lately, so we really hope following this track and continuing to get to that Masters rank that we want to really achieve. As we see here, we are player 1 again, as usual, complaining about the fact that we're never player 2. That starts to be a bit of a religion around here. In terms of intrigues, not that much. Oh, as a player 1 here, we can hope for something quite good. Web of Power is obviously an insane one, usually even worth early reveal potentially. Should we actually take Ball? I mean, we literally just did a game with Ball, but I feel like, or Memnon? Thing is that deck row is not that interesting to me, so Prince Vernius is not the most interesting one for me. No, I think let's go with Paul, yeah. Yeah, let's do another game with Paul. Goal is to be competitive, obviously, and not to just do games for the sake of it. So even if that means taking twice the same character in a row, then that's what we will be doing. Especially when the Imperium row is that good, we kind of want to give ourselves the biggest chance of having those cards. So next card we would be drawing is Reconnaissance. Here we have Seek Allies for a Fold Space. We have Signaturing for a Smuggling. What do we want to do? I think for us it will be Seek Allies to Fold Space this time. Could have gone to Smuggling to try and grab that early Swordmaster maybe next round already. But I feel like I want to get involved in that conflict. It's an interesting one also for that Solari. So I'd like to use that Signaturing rather for maybe a City Space hopefully. And definitely wanted to use still that Seek Allies because it has 0 persuasion, and we kind of want to maybe even aim for a Shai Hulud, because if you get that one early, it can make your deck so powerful. Being able to use it a couple of times, being able to get involved in those conflicts with those additional troops, it's a very powerful tool overall. So that's probably the conflict sorted for Andro, unless someone commits 2 agents to combat spaces, which obviously can still happen as well. Our dad, Duke Lido, enjoying some influence that we hardly earned. Well, if they leave us Smuggling as well, might have to be a play. No, okay. That leaves us one less conundrum here. We will definitely go to Arakin, picking up Reconnaissance, and I mean, ideally a convincing argument, at least maybe not a diplomacy, ideally, but let's see. I mean, we cannot anyways control it. But yes, I think Arakin over Kartag this time. We see that everyone is committing quite a bit to that conflict. Dagger probably means we also want to get involved. Thing is, 6 is a bit hopeless. I mean, it would maybe give us a better chance of securing that second spot, but third would be fine by me as well, to be honest. I just don't want to get beaten by Armand as well. So maybe we should still put in 3 troops. But 3 troops at conflict 1 for not even a hope of that first spot. Kinda not ideal. But we can expect Armand to come here. Maybe we shouldn't even get involved. But we'll try. We will, I mean, I like gambling, and this is definitely a gamble. I don't think it's the best play. Maybe best would have been not to get involved in the conflict, keeping those 4 troops for next rounds. But I want to see what that brings to us, especially also given we drew a dagger, maybe getting a bit of use out of going to Arakin instead of Carthage, because otherwise that dagger would obviously not be here. Next round, we have 3 cards sorted. Diplomacy obviously will be played. Seems maybe Armand decides to early reveal for the Web of Power. It could make sense, to be fair, because otherwise he's got last pick in that reveal action, and he might just see everything going away. No, he decides to most likely join the conflict, and we will most likely quickly see if that's an entry card, a combat card, sorry, or not, seeing how much he will get involved. Oh wow, but what a row, what a row. I really love, to be fair, all of those cards. I wouldn't mind having. They all so much. I mean, obviously, you will say because 3 of them have trashing ability, and by now you should probably know that I'm a big fan of that. So Armand getting in with 3 troops probably means he's got a way of winning the conflict. At least I would expect so, otherwise it's quite an expensive 3 Solari he's targeting. So with 5, I mean, had we had 6, I might have considered going rather for a Bene Gesserit combo, but with 5, for sure, I'll just take the Web of Power, and that's it. Another very good card. It's crazy. Actually, being Armand in this case is like, it's actually insane what he took. There was some. I just realized he already used his conscript, right? And he chose probably the last one I would have chosen, to be fair. Spy smugglers, yeah. So let's keep track maybe a bit of who bought what, just to keep a bit an idea of what could be dangerous to us. Okay, Handro, gene manipulation, Duke, Bene Gesserit sister. Oh, and it seems Lito also had a dagger, which is the worst case scenario. Now we will both not earn anything out of those 2 troops we committed, so gambling gone wrong, and indeed the right play would have been to probably not commit anything, because 3 troops for 2 Solari would not have been something I'd be willing to pay. So, and that's a full space for Handro, getting that level 2 influence. Oh, and our next card is probably one that we would not mind picking up, given we are the player that can annoy Handro the most in terms of interstellar shipping, and we probably want to do that. So revealing Web of Power to get that influence with the Spacing Guild allows us to go. I mean, unless Leto takes also an influence this round, we would have it 3 times in a row, probably. But let's see, let's not get too much ahead of ourselves. And how do we draw that card? I think it would have to be a reconnaissance to Arakin again. And then probably a diplomacy. Maybe to wealth, getting a bit started with the Solari, because we shouldn't forget about the importance of getting a Swordmaster early. Or maybe to still suits, getting a bit of influence here, a bit of water. Getting a chance in the conflict potentially, depending on what other players do. Let's see. Oh, an early Dreadnought. I quite like the play, to be fair. So let us make sure we draw that card, because for me it's quite an important play to be able to have interstellar shipping early. Wouldn't say no, especially if it prevents another one from going. Something I quite like. Here, I think we won't make the same mistake. We won't early commit, because nothing tells us Freeman would still be open. We might change our mind and still want to go to Wealth. And early committing would just mean potentially losing troops instead. Now that Handro revealed early though, that changed the game, because obviously it means we would be worst case third, which is not a bad spot to be in. And Lito apparently not committing to the conflict neither. Handro early revealing for that Lyot kind is a bit surprising, to be honest. What did he reveal? Probably nothing. Oh, okay. I mean, no, he could still have played Reconnaissance or Dagger. Not quite sure about that play. Another great Bene Gesserit card here. To be honest, those two are of great interest to me. Obviously, Shai Hulud as well, but a bit out of reach for now. So we will play Diplomacy. Now the question is, do we want to win that conflict? Because we could go to Hardy Warriors, battle for it, but I think 2 spies for 1 troop is of better value to us right now. And it gives us also the 2 water that can be useful rather than spending it right now. So let us just do this. Let's hope he doesn't take... my preferred one would be Test of Humanity. But I guess both would be gone by the time it's our turn, because... yeah, and anyways, it is gone already. Let's hope some good cards pop up. That's probably the worst. And probably Armand will be going for the truce here, so... let's see if something else nice pops up, otherwise it will probably be a local fence. Or 2 liaison, maybe. Do we have a triangle? Yes, we have multiple triangles. Oh, a local fence for Armand. Power play would have been a very nice one. Unfortunately, 1 short. Let's take it, as mentioned, with a Spacing Guild. And let's for sure take the truce here. Nothing else of interest to us. Smart Work is also a very interesting card. That unload effect is so powerful as well. So 2 spies for a troop makes total sense in my book. Machinations. Oh, what? Machinations? I'm not sure. Machinations, I guess. I'm not sure how we pronounce that. English not being my mother tongue. You probably heard that by the accent, but yeah, that's a very popular conflict usually. People like influence, especially when there is that spacing guild with so much power in terms of shipping track. But let's see. So that's gonna be the Swordmaster for Lito. And for us, no deck, so we don't really know what we will be drawing with the Signaturing, but it mixes up our deck quite nicely. We have 3 good cards here that are interesting to play. So here we would probably play Signaturing and Fold Space, unless what we draw is more interesting. Our first turn will definitely be to go to interstellar shipping, enjoy a bit this fast track of the shipping track, preventing our friend Handro from going there. And our second agent, maybe, depends if it's still available and if the combat looks right, we could go to Hardy Warriors, getting also that siege tab unlocked. Then we have the whole board available to us, and obviously a bump in 2 different factions could also be very useful to at least claim one alliance maybe out of those 2, and maybe get another one started. Here let's not think too much, signaturing makes most sense. What are we drawing? Convincing argument, very happy about that. We would be willing to get something expensive, so a bit of persuasion makes most sense. And here fold space, if we play it, would give us another persuasion, so we will reach 6. Getting to 7 would actually be quite cool, so potentially a tech negotiation. What do we have in terms of tech? Not much we want to buy, to be honest. I mean, training drones is not the worst. Do we want to spend our 2 spice for that? I'm not sure. The Great Flat is quite attractive, to be honest. It looks like, I mean, at least right now we are the only one being able to go. Not anymore, given Armand picks up 2 water with that Hayliner play. Hayliner round 3 is actually crazy. It is at least a good way for him to secure, I assume, this conflict. Make sure he can also, he will be able to go to shipping track most likely next turn. So he steals 1 round of us, but that could have been expected as well. So, no, I think going for the Shai Hulud is a bit of an overkill and a bad use of one of our agent. Tech negotiation right now doesn't bring much. If there was a nice tech there, obviously it would be 2 birds, 1 stone, so it could make sense, but like that, I think the Great Flat could make sense. But what I don't like is I would need to use fall space for that, because I still want to have a shot at those 2 very good cards. And fall space is one of my way of going there, so maybe we just give up on it for now at least. Yeah, I think it's a good play, because then we leave the choice to Armand between Spice or Interstellar Shipping, and we take the other one. And to be fair, either of the 2 would help us next round. We should be having a triangle, hopefully. So let's just go to... Oh yeah, we will have one, because we will have 5 cards in the deck, and one of them is a triangle. So, here I think deploying for a water is not really something I want to do. Let's just keep our troops. Oh, so that's a card discard. Not too bad for us, the dagger is of no use anyways. And it is actually maybe a good play for us as well, to make sure that Armand cannot reach, hopefully, a power play. But let's see. Oh, I mean, he could still try. Actually, he could choose to lose a troop. although Handro would then be potentially close to beating him, especially with those two intrigue cards, and that's most likely what Armand is calculating now. Chose to play it safer. Still doesn't guarantee him the first place, obviously, but it's still a bit better. Oh, and it seems Handro is sending a clear message there that he does not have the combat card necessary to win that. Or is not willing to use it, but to be fair, I think he would, given this is usually quite an attractive first prize, obviously. So, let's reveal. Ideal. We can get the power play. Smuggler Thopter, very good card as well. But not for us, or at least not this round. Oh, shifting allegiances, that's also a potential game changer. I actually never noticed that small poison dagger, I guess, or like small, yeah, knife he has. So I guess that's what it means. I thought that shifting allegiances was just about, yeah, shaking hands with someone new and making a deal, but apparently it's about, like, not being allied to them anymore, to say it nicely. Shifting allegiances was picked by Lito, right? Yes, that's a card in my opinion very important to keep track of, because that's definitely something that can steal an alliance from you if you're not really paying attention. So we really need to focus now on trying to get that Swordmaster. Probably not this round, unfortunately, but maybe next one. That would be important. But getting that spice seems too good to turn down. So let's see what Armand does, depending again between Great Flat and Interstellar Shipping, what he does. But we will most likely do the other one. Web of Power that we will probably keep for a reveal, given we actually have 2 out of the 3, so not the worst combo, but I think we have better things to do. Oh, it seems he chose Interstellar Shipping. And we will definitely then go for the Great Flat. I don't like having like no clear path to the Swordmaster though. I'm not a big fan of him trying to claim that one, because I kinda wanted those 3 Solari for like a closer look, let's say, to the Swordmaster, maybe even next round. Do we actually commit to it? I did that a bit mechanically without thinking. I think it's too early to even try there. I mean, that win is obviously interesting, but yeah, exactly, just one. Oh no, he doesn't have any troop here in the garrison, so he cannot really compete with our 2 right now, but still, everyone has multiple agents left, except Armand at the time of my decision, and it was a bit too risky. Typically that's AI play. You shouldn't play your intrigue cards blindly like that. Keep them, use them when you need them, because that 2 Solari now makes it clear he can afford Swordmaster. In this case it's a bit harmless because no one else can, but it could have been a good surprise move in case someone else was in a position to do so. Yeah. I think diplomacy to wealth to then line up next round for interstellar shipping, getting those 5 Solari to get 8 for a Swordmaster, and potentially, depending on what Armand does now, we could use the reveal for a bump on the Spacing Guild. No, he seems to be able to claim it now, so we won't do that play. Maybe Web of Power for a bump then with a Freeman to get the Alliance next round with the shipping bonus here. How many influence has everyone? Armand has 4 or 5. We have 2, 4. Vito has 2, 4, 5. Andrew 4. Okay, all quite close. Seems Armand is quite keen on that conflict. Do we want our deck to mix like that? Because we could actually just do a bit of a Truthsayer play, but I'm not sure. I mean, Web of Power, Truthsayer, Diplomacy are all cards I'd like to have next round again. And here there's only Power Play, maybe Signet Ring that are of use. Then again, I want to make sure I can go to interstellar shipping. So I need a triangle. Here I only have 1 out of those 5 cards. And here I have 2 out of the 7. So there is a low chance I still can't go next round, but I think I'd prefer my odds right now by doing this. I actually have 8 spies, so I could even go. Do I want to do that? 2 troops, an intrigue card. I think it could make sense. Let me just quickly have a look at the... Yeah, that I can anyways buy if I want, but it's nothing very interesting to me, so let's do that. I like that play, having a bit more Solari as well, to line up potentially for a Dreadnought or a High Council. So let us remove the dagger from here. Oh no, that leaves only 1 triangle here, and I forgot that I discarded 1 that went straight in my deck, so that was not great. Let's hope we draw that triangle. Yeah, otherwise we might be a bit in a trouble, because Swordmaster would be... I mean, anyways, we're probably not the first one to be able to go there next round, because, yeah, Armand has enough. So not great. I assume he's taking the Smuggler Thopter. Oh no, Stilgar. Which is also a very good card, so I can understand. Oh. Oh, and we're just 1 short from that Thopter. But I guess it's gonna be another Truthsayer. We don't have much persuasion anyway, so I don't think it will be a focus for us this round. I mean, this game overall. Let's take an option on the Freeman Alliance. Selective breeding. He's got the High Council, so maybe he can stretch to its home directorship, which would actually put him close to claiming 2 alliances. It's quite valuable for him, yeah. Let's hope he cannot. Oh, another expensive one. He might now reconsider between the 2. And he won't, because he doesn't have enough. Ah, my bad. The sister that always comes afterwards. I hope that doesn't mean he's got a plans within plans in his endgame, otherwise he's already almost there, which would not be ideal, obviously. So let's really hope we have that triangle in our hand. That's of high importance right now. Huh, crazy, fully locking it. I mean, or at least getting it as close as possible. Oh, but I think it's a smart play because I think Leto is the one who acquired that shifting allegiances, right? Second round, I would say. I don't know. Here, yes. So it is a very smart and attentive play from Armand to put it a bit out of reach. Oh, and we have it. That feels good. That is something we really needed. And it will be ours. Here, I mean, we could draw with spaceport. We could draw 3 persuasion. We'd be at 5. 7 potentially with the dagger. Dagger to high council, I mean. I'm not sure it's really worth it. So I think training drones is not that interesting neither. So let's just recall and advance again to line up for another step 2 recall at some point. Here for sure we take the Solari to at least be able to claim it in case Armand has a other plan. And here I'd like to play power play at some point, but I think we will still take it here. Although we could take Emperor and surprise Leto there, potentially. Let's actually try that maybe. Not entirely sure about that play though, because he's got that shifting allegiances that can hurt and make it all worthless. So, but power play, I'd like to get involved potentially in the conflict. So power play to Hardy Warriors or to Still Suits brings us well locked in with the alliance, hopefully. And that's the shifting allegiances. Where does he choose to play it? So he's taking that alliance. Wait, did I? Oh yeah, he goes down and up at the same spot. Okay, fair enough. And that gives him 2 troops thanks to that bonus. So it is an interesting play. And that Swordmaster, I would have preferred obviously having it myself this round, but it won't happen. Here, to be fair, more persuasion with the High Council is not of great use to me. Maybe actually Menta to then play power play next round to have a bit more information about what everyone is doing. I mean, I'm first player, so anyways, they will all still have 1 agent left. I really don't like being the last one having my 3rd agent, but sometimes there is no other choice. Let's just get that convincing argument also out of the way with the Menta that we can then use for a power play to let's see what makes most sense. Maybe Still Suits to get to gather a bit of extra water for a I mean research station in my position, like look at this, there is nothing in terms of persuasion. I don't think we will ever get to anything useful in terms of persuasion, but I think we throw the dagger away. 4 can still be useful for anything here, although we will most likely be the first one to reveal. And that's another alliance for Leto. And everyone at 3 intrigue cards, which is not ideal neither for us. We at least have 1 as well, but yeah, let's see. could technically also use power play for a selective breeding, just to get a dagger out of the way. Mix our deck with those very good cards, and get it done with the Bene Gesserit alliance point. I mean, faction point, first point. But I think I'd like to take part in that conflict as well. Yeah, let's maybe even fight for it. Or 3 water. Yeah, not that powerful for us. Research station will probably not be that useful. Yeah, let's go for it. Having a Manta with those good cards that we have in the discard, and having extra Solari for like a Swordmaster and maybe something else thanks to those two, I think it could make sense. Let's fight for it. Seems Handro is not really willing to fight more into that. Lito is. What deck does he have again? The Spy Satellites. So that's 3 points for him right now, technically. Which also explains why he focuses here, on top of securing it away from shifting allegiance that Lito has. It's also the fact that he doesn't really bother about those points. He has them thanks to the tech, which is usually a very strong tech to have as Armand, given his strong incentive on playing on the non-faction boards. Thanks to coordination, it's a very good synergy for him. Let's see, does he pick up anything else? No, he takes a negotiator. Yeah, 0 spice makes it a bit hard to pick up anything else. But he probably goes for something here, 4 cards in his hand. Otherwise I don't really see what tech negotiation brings him. Maybe it's the only spot he can actually go. That's not a bad card to pick up, I think. Imperial Bashar. Or do we want 2 liaison to try still to get a bit of persuasion? No, I think let's go for the Bashar. Oh, Firm Grip would probably have been more interesting. But we have what we have. So let's see if Daddy Lito will have any combat cards to play. Oh, and Armand is not fully out with his 4 daggers here. He's actually very close. Ooh, and that's the full scale assault. So yes, that tech negotiation made total sense if you're able to get an expensive card like that. So next round we would be willing to try and prepare as much as possible for round 7. Obviously, I mean, Swordmaster is a must, so we cannot use that much Solari besides that, but we should have hopefully 11 by then. 8 for a Swordmaster. Maybe a Dreadnought could make sense to get also some more firepower. Maybe a training drone at the same time when going to Dreadnought. Could make sense. Let's see. If we can also win that conflict, will give us an intrigue card, the Menta. So that's a Master Tactician that we also have. Let's see if Armand does anything. He doesn't, so we're basically fighting for the Menta here. And I think I'm willing to do that, to just also get potentially one more of his intrigue card out. If it's another combat one, I'd prefer seeing it out before round 7. But it will give us information. He passes, so most likely none of them are combat cards. Unless he doesn't really see the value in the Menta, and he just wanted to make sure he's not overshooting the intrigue card threshold. Because he's going to earn one as well right now. It could be. Dispatch an envoy. Not the most useful card for us right now, given our multiple faction accesses. But it could still allow for the flexibility to go to a highliner potentially anytime we want is still something not to disregard. So I think, yeah, ideally we would go to Dreadnought right now, and then second play would be Swordmaster, and the third one, let's see, maybe a Truesayer to Secrets. Also in terms of garrison, we are not too bad. Obviously Armand has 2 Dreadnoughts, so I wouldn't see him going there anyway, so we should be quite certain of our first agent. But he's got quite a nice garrison. Although no troops, but those 2 Dreadnoughts are obviously very powerful. But other than that, no one has troops, so we are quite in a good position there to hopefully fight seriously for round 7. And in our deck, the next one is a Dune, so we could try to get it out of the way with the Truesayer, because the rest here, we have a couple of good cards that we wouldn't mind playing, to be fair. Let's take a Dreadnought here, for sure. And let's indeed acquire training drones. I think I like that. Gives us a bit more firepower as well. Let's keep it for when we go to a combat space. We might still want to commit a few troops. Depends. Let's keep the flexibility to do so. That is the AI, although it made sense here just to get one out of the way. The second, I'm not sure. What is this? Is he fighting for it? That's not ideal. Not a big fan of that. Does he have anything in terms of double surprise, let's say, influence? Doesn't seem so, but he's got some Freeman access. No. Okay, so that's already a bit reassuring. But this, I'd like to lock it in at some point. Probably next round, maybe by going to Hardy Warriors if we have the water. At some point we would still need to ideally go to interstellar shipping to just make the most out of our token that is at level 1 and get maybe those 2 troops can be useful, but especially that influence, probably with the Bene Gesserit, Truesayer going there with our 3rd agent most likely, or 4th, given we have the Menta. Oh, so actually it means we don't need to go right now with the dagger. We can first do something else, maybe Reconnaissance to get some water, and because it's the only place we can actually play it. Or actually we can also cycle it to get a Dune. But then we would only get 1 spice out of it, given we want to keep the water for Hardy Warrior next round, hopefully. Ah, we have actually dispatched an envoy, so we could lock it in right now as well. Let's maybe do first the Truthsayer. Or should I lock in the Hardy Warriors? Maybe Hardy Warriors makes more sense. But then again, if Secrets is taken, I cannot really play Truthsayer. So let's first play Truthsayer. Let's risk it. Let's first do this. Here we can cycle Reconnaissance. Not sure. We might still want to go to Siege Double. Dagger we need for sure, so let's just throw away the convincing argument anyways. Not much. I mean, Firm Grip, not much of a use for us in the end anyways, so let's just leave it there. Yes. So with our third agent will be Dagger to Swordmaster, and then we have a choice, but most likely will be Hardy Warriors to get it done and dusted with that faction, making sure we lock in that point, far away from the AI. Early reveal, does he have... Didn't see if the Bene Gesserit sister was in there to get a Spice Mist flow, which I hope not. Let's have a quick look. No, okay. Interesting, he goes for the Firm Grip. Well, actually, yes, it gives him quite some influence. Persuasion, sorry. Given he's got the alliance there. Should we use Dispatch an Envoy and go to Hardy Warriors? Or should we risk it? Because we have Diplomacy next turn. And we won't be able anyways to go to Hayliner given our lack of spice. So instead we could just go to, for instance, Siege Tower right... Oh, sorry. Anyways, now it's the Swordmaster. Let's not forget the essentials. But we could just go to Siege Tower instead. Yeah, I think we keep that flexibility for next round. I'm not that scared. I'll be playing before him anyways. He's got that potential here to get one, but I don't see him doing two influence here at once, unless obviously a surprise intrigue card, but I think given it's the AI, they would have played it anyways already. So I mean, we don't really want that for, or don't want to fight at least for that 4 Solari, so 2 Solari will be enough for our Dreadnought, and keeping those troops for some more serious rewards. Nothing we want here anyways. And next round we really want to get to those combat spaces at least twice, most likely. Probably once with diplomacy through Hardy Warriors, and the other one remains to be seen. If we have an Imperial Basha, would obviously be nice, but let's see. Let's also see what the rewards are of the combat, what exactly we fight for. But if it's a double victory point one, that's one that I really would be willing to fight for. No one has anyway anything close to 6 spice for a Hayliner. So it will have to be a garrison-based fight mostly. Obviously, we can still get a few recruited troops, but nothing close to what Hayliner could do and nothing close to what we have in our garrison. So we are in a good position to fight for this conflict, but it's not the ideal one there. Let's see though. This one could still give us 2 Solari, but yeah, it's not the best. I mean, being second here, to be fair, does enough for us as well. But then again, we have other competitors that could make more out of that first spot, so maybe it's about denying them. Let's see. I think Web of Power we probably would be willing to play it this round, ideally, because it gives us that influence here and we make the most of it because we have all the other thresholds reached. And it is, I mean, quite some nice effects we could get out of that. That's good news for us. He has to kind of throw out an agent turn, but he at least defends it and makes sure Daddy Leto doesn't get it. So let us see what we do here. I think the play will be diplomacy to Hardy Warriors, just to also ensure no one else goes there. And I think we can throw in already, kinda make it clear that others will need to fully commit if they even want a chance to win it. And we still have 5 troops, so it's a good place to be in, I think. We lock in the alliance as well, so it has a couple of benefits. I wanted to actually check the decks. Yeah, expensive. What do we have in the deck? We could actually get to Imperial Bashar if Arakin is not taken by then, signaturing. But, Web of Power also allows us to draw a card, but it's not enough. One card just gives us the Truesayer. And I kind of want to play that Web of Power because all those agent effects can make a lot for us. We can actually play it somewhere else with Dispatch and Envoy. We could, for instance, go to Wealth, giving us 4 solar in total, so meaning we would have 6, which is enough for a victory point here. It's maybe a play, but then how will we get that victory point with the Bene Gesserit? Maybe next round if we keep Truesayer. No, we will probably play Signaturing, so we would draw the Truesayer anyways. It is interesting. I'm not sure. Maybe Signaturing first? Should we draw both cards actually? No, I think Imperial Bashar could make sense for next round to also try and commit a couple more troops in there. So let's go Signaturing to, I think, Kartag. But actually playing Signaturing and Web of Power means we will draw 2 cards anyways. So we'll have Imperial Bashar. Yeah, but I think we will play Kartag. Gain 2. Let's see if that still brings us somewhere. I don't think so, but at least not this round. Oh wait, that was a bit of a reflex play. I think, do we commit a bit more to make sure Armand doesn't get there? He doesn't have the resources anyways neither, so I don't think so, to be fair. Leto has 2 agents left, but yeah, let's see. Maybe should have, but Yeah, let's leave it like that. Didn't have much more time to think anyways. That's also a very strange play from the AI. Getting up all the way up there. For not that, I mean, obviously flagship is interesting, but he doesn't have the spice. He would need, he's one spice short for that anyways. So yeah, oh, that's our wealth play gone with Dispatch and Envoy, won't work. Locking in the alliance. I mean, he was already pretty locked in, not sure that was needed, but okay. Three alliances are completely locked in. One is also quite well on the way given the advance he's got there. Should we then maybe not play Web of Power? No, but otherwise what are we doing? Truesayer pretty much brings us to the same spots, given we don't have the spice for this. And we don't have the Solari for a Dreadnought, so... I think it's a Web of Power play in secrets. Let's make the most out of it at least once. Oh, cannon turrets. Very nice. Let's burn Charisma, although it hurts a bit. But no one can go right now to secrets, and we can just use maybe a combat card instead, because Charisma can maybe still help us to get one Spice Must Flow at some point. Quite precious option, so let's keep it. Let's not forget that Armand has Spice Satellites, so he's got 2 points hidden in that, so he's at 7 technically. And then we have quite some intrigue cards with Leto and with Armand. We kind of concluded that Leto doesn't have any combat cards, so it's most likely going to be endgame, which I don't hope for, but it might be. Should we? I don't think we have much value anyways in acquiring cards right now, so we can just discard. For instance, Dune, keeping the daggers, obviously. I mean, this, yeah, swords. So let's see, what does Leto have? So no Spice Must Flow points, which is good. But he almost has 3 influence everywhere, which would potentially mean hurtful plans within plans. Here, no Spice Must Flow neither, and definitely no plans within plans for him. Our turn to reveal. I don't think there's much use of any of those cards, to be fair. Maybe we can still just take a bit of persuasion in the hope of a Spice Must Flow. Although it dilutes a bit our deck, that's obviously not something ideal, but 15 cards is still quite reasonable. And that is the very first Spice Must Flow boat in that game. He's trying to steal that victory point from Armand. Let's hope he can fight for it, because we would very much prefer Armand taking that point. Okay, that's great. Should we actually also play something then to make sure we don't get robbed? To be fair, there's not that much interest to rob us. I mean, if they do, it's not like an endgame card that would change our game. So let's try be greedy and use them when we can, or have more value in using them. And charisma, let's hope that we can use it for a Spice Must Flow at some point. Maybe Dispatch and Envoy can play first thing next round, depending on what we have and what we would want to do. Or worst case, just burn it, because that's not one that we can see much use for. So we win. Unfortunately, it means only 1 point, which sucks a bit, but that's how it is. And we lose our Dreadnought. Let's at least leave it somewhere that hurts potentially an opponent. And now it's a 2-point conflict. So we have Bashar, which we will be willing to play, I think. No one... oh, actually, yes, Handro can go to Hayliner potentially. The other two are not that far away neither. But let's see, with our garrison, I still fancy our chances of potentially winning that conflict. Let's see what we can do with that. Maybe Dispatch an Envoy, Reconnaissance to Hardy Warriors, sending in 4 or 5 troops thanks to the tech we acquired. Could make sense. Let's see what Armand is doing. Let us do that to just also use that card. Get it out of the way. And let's deploy. In the end, that's worth a Hayliner, exactly. Especially given they have no garrison. It's a maximum of 5 troops in, so we're already equalizing that. So we have very much our chances in doing it. And the AI doing AI things, just committing 1 troop, which is interesting, to not say completely nonsensical. What are we willing to do? I think Imperial Bashar could make sense. Maybe to Siege Tower, get a second water for potentially a research station next round, if there is a next round. But I think there very well could be if we win that conflict, given we don't see an easy way of getting another victory point this round. We are quite far from having any sort of Spice Must Flow, especially given Dagger is the next card here. Maybe we could also just go Impel Bashar to Arakin, get that Dagger out of the way, getting a Solari for the High Council. Yeah, I think that's a better play, all in all. Let's do this. And let's deploy again, I think. Because not exactly sure what we do with our last agent, but it could be just a web of power to get again some use of these agent effects. So let's secure, I think, this conflict, hopefully like this. It's actually maybe a bit too much. No. Leto has 3 agents left. Can still do a lot. They also have intrigue cards. I mean, we do as well. That's why I thought maybe it's a bit too much. We could make use of those ambush and cannon turrets, but let's keep that in our pocket and not plan on using them. But then again, Web of Power to secrets means we have one more card here, so could mean we would need to burn one potentially. Or make again the risky bet of having too many of those. Yes, the Web of Power gives us the water, gives us 2 Solari. But now drawing a convincing argument is not the best, because I'd ideally want enough persuasion next round to finally get a Spicemas flow that we spoke about so much. But that's unfortunately a side effect of Web of Power as well. Alright, we also wanted to do that at some point, although anyways we wouldn't have been able to this round, but we kinda want to make use of this one last time. What did he get out of it? Oh. Just 2 spice, okay. Advance recall. He probably needs a maybe. Well, it's taken, but technically, if with another intrigue card or something, he could still go Highliner. Or maybe just getting that lined up for next round. Having 1 extra spice would have been quite valuable right now, because a selective reading would have brought us probably quite close to a Spicemas flow, drawing 3 cards, knowing that the next one has 2, and knowing that we have the charisma. Yeah, unfortunately it's not gonna happen, so let's hope we can at least use that card. Let's see what we draw first. So it's another 2 persuasion card, which I'd like to keep technically. Yeah, and we have first player next round, so let's keep it and use it first thing next round. I think we're in a good position to win this conflict, which would bring us quite close to those 10 points that we need. Probably will need a bit more because of Leto being and looking quite dangerous. Oh, is it for a flagship? Does he have? No, he doesn't. But maybe spaceport to lock in a Spicemas flow could be something. Yeah, so that alliance is gone. Anyways, it was not really my goal. It would have been quite hard to get it anyways, so I don't really care much, and it made him spend 2 spies, so why not? 18 daggers? That's insane. So maybe we will make use of something like an ambush. Because here we have 3 daggers. How did he get 18 daggers? 5 here. 11. Oh, the Dreadnought as well, yeah. Okay, yeah. Fair enough. That's insane. I've never seen that. But I hope we should still be winning it, unless that intrigue card is really... No, I think we can win it regardless, because even if he's got 7, daggers. Let's buy one. Maybe just make sure that no one else can buy. He could go to up to 31. Ah, no, he doesn't have spies, so best he can do is probably 28 with an ambush, and we can go to 25, 27, and he would be -3. So yes, we should beat him anyways. That's a spice must flow for him. Quite scared of the Grand Conspiracy now. Oh. Let's hope that last one is not a Chome shares. Otherwise he would have ended the game right there, right now. But let's hope this is not a Grand Conspiracy, because that could still be a bit annoying. Given that two of them have Dreadnoughts now, I see quite some value in that one. It's technically worth 5 power, because it reduces them by 3. This one is worth 4, so I'll play Ambush. So yeah, if it's a Grand Conspiracy, he's got 4+ influence in at least 2 factions. He's got 1 spice must flow. He's got high council seat, so that's already 1 victory point for him. And he's just missing 1 dreadnought to have 2 victory points out of it. So we kinda need to hope that's not happening. Now what's the next conflict? If it's the one with the double influence bump, it's kinda worthless I think for everyone, because all 3 alliances are locked in. Actually, Armand, no, he's got the spy satellite, so it's worthless for him as well. Maybe for Handro, but Handro is a bit out of the game, especially given it's an AI. So there's not much left there to do. So for us, the goal is to definitely get to a spice must flow this round. And do we have any other way of getting a victory point there? Not really, but maybe we want to take the Menta off there. We would probably still make use of interstellar shipping, ideally. What do we want first? Let's first up. I actually don't need to do that. I forgot. Yeah, whatever, let's still draw it. Yeah, let's use the signet ring to go up there. It's not that valuable, but it still gives us an intrigue card. Picking it up there. Gives us 2 spies. Quick, quick, quick. Oh no, no. It will probably play charisma for us, but it's okay. Oh no, please don't do crit proco. Anyways, worthless. So it's an interesting game, because that conflict has almost 0 value. Only maybe an intrigue card, but then basically being second has more value than being first, crazily. It's quite interesting. A flagship gun, which is good for us. I think that Handro picks it up, to be fair. Just to make sure no one else of the, let's say, serious contenders can have it. So that's probably the conflict sorted for Handro. Let's see. For us, yeah, I think Truthsayer to Manta could make sense, just to make sure no one else has the Manta, because I don't see much value in us having it, but drawing a card is not a bad thing, and getting it out of the way of the others can make sense as well. But we need to make sure we have at least 7 persuasion, given we have charisma here. But yeah. That conflict is really not ideal for us. I mean, a double victory point conflict would have been so much more. would have done so much more for us given our cannon turrets, our garrison here. We could have really tried to fight for it. Although 14 is already quite a lot, but I think we could have at least tried. So yeah, let's Trusair it to Menta. Let's draw Diplomacy. Let's send out the Dune to draw whatever comes. And let's keep that in case. So we have 12 Persuasion. Another 2 here, which would be 14. Can we actually target 18? Like with, for instance, Diplomacy to Selective Reading? So Diplomacy would bring us back to 11 with Charisma. 11, we draw 2 cards, one of them being Arrakis Liaison, the other one probably having 1 Persuasion. And we need to discard here, so probably not. Should we keep Dune the Desert Planet maybe for a bit of extra spice as a tiebreaker? That could make sense. What else can we discard here then? Not sure. Diplomacy maybe then? Are we giving up on selective reading? I think so. I think we do. And I think it will be an early reveal for us after grabbing that extra spice, which hopefully Armand leaves us. After that, we will, because otherwise we cannot use a liaison unless we go to High Council, but that basically means just burning Solari for something like 2 Persuasion versus 2 here. It makes no sense. So that's him gone. Let's still try to fight for second place. Obviously, an intrigue card could make sense, so we definitely come here. We definitely use our deck and get all out. We have our cannon turret, so Armand doesn't know it yet, but he's most likely out of the conflict, given he already revealed. Leto depends on what he does with his last agent, but we will also hurt him to a certain extent. So we could claim that second spot, hopefully. But the game is definitely coming to an end soon, because we will definitely get to 10 victory points thanks to a Spice Must Flow. Leto, 6 cards in hand. The High Council most likely also is able to get another Spice Must Flow. He's already got one, right? So that's the second one for him. I think he'll be the one with most of them, so let's hope this intrigue card is not an end game. Oh no, okay. Armand has 2. So we will reveal now just to have a bit of extra Solari, although we would lose our tiebreaker here. Yeah, him saying that, I don't like it. I guess that's an endgame card here, but let's hope not. So we want to gain 2 persuasion. Early reveal. For a spice must flow, let's not forget our main goal here. So let's quickly take a minute just to also do a quick add to my fellow players here. So definitely playing that. Oh, we sent them both out of the conflict actually, which is very cool. Very funny to do. But maybe not very useful. Let's hope that intrigue card changes something to us. But he's most likely gonna claim the win. Yeah. Rapid mobilization, useless one right now. So that's where the Grand Conspiracy was hiding. Oh, yes. So without that Grand Conspiracy, we would have been probably the first one. Actually, not sure. How much spice did they have? 4. Yes, we would, but it was a very nice game. Very, very interesting. Cool end game. Unexpected. I thought Lito would probably win. Yeah, but at least we win another star, getting up to that platinum rank finally. So let's continue on that and reach that master's rank. Thanks everyone for joining, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Join me on my lives on YouTube on Sundays as well. Sorry, my YouTube lives, and see you soon. Have a good one. Bye bye.